As soon as one task is completed, another demand arises, and the mind treats relief as a rare luxury. This relentless pace can make achievements feel hollow, as stress constantly redefines what is considered sufficient. The conventional belief that success brings happiness often fails because the brain functions less effectively under pressure. Negative emotions narrow focus, so problem-solving and learning diminish when the mind is on high alert for threats. Delayed happiness weakens motivation, making goals feel like obligations rather than chosen projects. By cultivating positive emotions first, the brain becomes more open, creative, and resilient, which enhances performance. A manager reviewing results sees only gaps and leaves exhausted, despite real progress made throughout the day. With a different perspective, the same manager notes wins, learns from misses, and leaves with energy to plan for tomorrow. Next, we will explore how mindset shifts, attention training, habit design, relationships, and setback reframes create lasting advantages. This video is inspired by The Happiness Advantage by Shawn, Achor, and if it helps, subscribe for more positive brain practices. The positive advantage means that positive emotions come first, as they change how the brain processes the same workload. Instead of waiting for achievements, this approach builds optimism now, which widens attention and increases mental resources. Positive emotions broaden thoughts and actions, so the mind sees options that stress would otherwise hide. They also fuel motivation, as progress feels possible, and effort can stay steady during long stretches. One person starts a project expecting failure, so mistakes feel like proof, and learning slows immediately. Another starts expecting growth, so mistakes become feedback, and skills improve through repeated adjustment. This is why happiness can drive success, as perception shapes effort, and effort shapes results over time. It also explains why chasing happiness after success backfires, since pressure blocks creativity and drains persistence. Build a simple positivity ritual before work, such as a short gratitude list or a brief kind message. Doing this consistently trains the brain toward better focus and energy, which supports outcomes without forcing false cheer. The Tetris effect is a trained pattern filter that makes the brain notice certain cues repeatedly. The mechanism is repetition, as what is practiced becomes easier to recognize in real life. When the filter is negative, small problems appear disproportionately large, and opportunities are missed because attention is already occupied. When the filter is positive, progress cues stand out, and the mind has more material for solutions. After learning a new game, people start seeing shapes everywhere, as the brain continues to scan for familiar patterns. The same pattern occurs with stress cues or success cues, depending on what attention has been trained to search for. A simple exercise is to list 3 good things each day, explaining why they happened. Over time, this practice pushes memory to store more positives, so the default scan changes during busy moments. Keep the list specific, detailing what went well, what caused it, and one action you can repeat tomorrow. That daily scan builds a positive pattern filter, making your brain find useful signals faster when challenges arise. Following up is the practice of using adversity to build capability by changing how the mind maps the event. Under stress, attention narrows, so this method searches for a path upward instead of a dead end. When setbacks are seen as permanent failure, effort drops, and the brain stops looking for strategies that could work. When setbacks are seen as temporary and specific, the mind keeps learning, and recovery becomes faster. A salesperson loses a major client and assumes personal incompetence, making future calls feel threatening and avoidable. Another salesperson reviews what changed, seeks feedback, adjusts the pitch, and treats the loss as training for the next attempt. This shift protects happiness because meaning comes from progress, not from never getting knocked off course. A positive brain can reinterpret pressure as a challenge, which keeps motivation high and prevents helplessness. After a setback, write down what was under control, what can change, and one next step that tests the new plan. If setbacks are a current theme, subscribe for more tools that rebuild confidence and keep effort moving forward. The 20-second rule is a behavior design method that changes habits by reducing the friction needed to start a desired action. By lowering the activation energy for good habits and raising it for bad ones, this method makes it easier to adopt beneficial behaviors. Small barriers can significantly influence what we repeat, so setting up routines that encourage good habits can replace reliance on willpower. Once a habit becomes more frequent, it becomes the new default, accumulating results without requiring extra planning. A person wants to play guitar but keeps the instrument in a closet while the television remote remains on the table. By placing the guitar on a stand and storing the remote away, practice starts first and screen time decreases. This approach supports happiness by making daily wins feel attainable, which keeps optimism alive and reduces self-blame. It also supports success by providing the brain with practice, feedback, and momentum instead of constant restarts. Choose one habit to add and one to limit. Then adjust your environment to make the new habit easier and the old one harder to start. Measure the change for a week, as adding or removing just 20 seconds can dramatically shift behaviour. Social investment involves treating relationships as a core resource, dedicating time to them before stress demands it. The mechanism is that supportive connections create a safety net, altering how the brain responds to challenges. When people feel supported, they recover from setbacks more quickly and maintain steady effort rather than shutting down. Positive interactions also enhance focus by reducing anxiety, which aids learning and problem-solving under time pressure. Two employees face the same criticism, but one has trusted peers to debrief with after the meeting. That support transforms the critique into feedback, while the isolated employee replays it alone and loses confidence. Relationships amplify this positive advantage as positive emotions spread through connections, becoming easier to access. They also enhance performance by improving collaboration and providing faster help when problems exceed individual skills. Choose one relationship to strengthen this week, then schedule a short call or shared meal without multitasking. Build a habit of small check-ins, as repeated positive contact makes support readily available when hard moments arise. Happiness is not a reward you wait for. It is a practical advantage you can build on purpose. When positive emotion becomes a habit, work and life choices start coming from possibility rather than survival. You observed how a positive brain learns faster and how perception can be trained to notice progress and options. You also saw how reframing setbacks, designing habits, and investing in relationships create lasting momentum. These actions reduce stress, improve focus, and make goals feel reachable by stopping the mind from fighting itself. Over months, small shifts in thought and behaviour compound into better health habits, teamwork, and steady satisfaction. Start with one practice tonight, such as 3 good things, a reframe after a stressor, or a simple habit tweak. Keep it small enough to repeat, then expand only after it feels automatic and useful in real situations. The goal is human flourishing, meaning joy that comes from pursuing potential with a brain that helps you. If these practices feel worth repeating, then subscribe for more guides that turn happiness into consistent focus and results.